Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. This is the best show on earth, isn't it? All for United Uncut. How are you all doing today? Get in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Today, we've got an interesting topic. We're talking about who needs to leave Manchester United. And if you're looking at that thumbnail, you might have a few suggestions. There's one in particular I think some of the viewers might just, suggest. I'm not pointing towards it. We're not a clickbaity channel, but, I've got a bunch of idiots waiting in the background to come and join us. So make sure all your drinks are ready. I'll give you the next... I don't know how long it is. I think it's about 90 seconds to go and get your drinks, get ready, and come join us right after this.
Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from Passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Yes, you absolute psychopaths. How's it going? Welcome to All for United Uncut. How are we all doing? Look at this. It's seamless. James, that's how you do the intro.
I've just noticed, Benny, you need to be wearing red. You got all white on the bottom, and you got.
No, what are you doing, Benny? Benny, get up and go put a red shirt on.
Oh yeah.
I'm on in the background.
That doesn't count. Anyway, how are we all doing? Callum's looking really serious. What's wrong, mate? You all right? He's just fucking muted.
It's just my face, isn't it?
I mean, sure. First of all, what's everyone drinking?
Nothing special, water.
Oh, he's fucking on the Peroni again.
What
is that?
That's a Rioja Reserva.
What? A
Rioja. It's a 2001 Reserva. Really nice. Me and the wife opened it up. Well, no, about an hour ago, so we're just finishing that off.
James, what are you on?
I'm at my missus' house and she don't have any beer, so I'm on Diet Coke at the minute. I've been to the pub earlier though, so it's
Diet
not
Coke.
To be fair, it's better than that piss water you were drinking last week, so we'll let you off on that one.
Cal, what are you drinking?
I ain't even got a drink with me.
Why did I invite you onto the show?
Sunday night, I'm up early for work. I'll be drinking.
Right, everyone's in the comments now. Charlie's in here. How are you doing, Charlie? Top panel. Everyone except from Stu, obviously. FC United forever. Right, okay. We've got an FC United fan group in the comments. Nice to see. How you all doing? Right, we're going to get straight into the topic because that's what we do on All for United Uncut. We don't, beat around the bush, talk about all sorts of nonsense. So the thumbnail. Who needs to leave Manchester United? We watched the QPR game. I wish I didn't personally, and I also wish I didn't see the overreaction. So let's talk about it briefly. It was very clear from that performance that some of those players are not ready for this level. Whether they need to be loaned out or whether they're just not going to hack it at Manchester United. It's one of them. So first of all, Benny, you were at the game. Is that the opinion that you shared and most of the fans did?
At the game, it was more of a carnival atmosphere, mate. I think everybody was more happy about being back together as a group, as away fans instead of being separated by seats and social distancing and what have you. Having said that, though, let's be fair, though, QPR are a lot further ahead of us in their pre-season. They're 2 weeks away from starting their season, so they play a few more games than we have, and they looked a lot more sharper. You could tell the fitness was there, the lung capacity was there, and everything. They were miles ahead of us. You look at thinking of some of our players like Mason Greenwood's just come back from his operation. He's still trying to find his feet. A lot of these players are still trying to get minutes into their legs. Having said that, though, Pereira disappointed me yesterday again. And if there's anybody that should be the first name on the list,
he's pre-season Pirlo. He doesn't even look like pre-season Pellistri.
He was poor again. He's over-hitting passes, under-hitting passes. He can't even pass a ball 5 yards.
That's why.
Yes, caveman Callum. that mic's terrible, by the way.
Right. Let me go off and I'll try to sort my mic out.
Right, okay, mate. Right, just like Andres Pereira, Callum's mic's shy. No, I agree with the Pereira thing.
Oh, here we go.
I know, James, you
Oh,
briefly
here we
mentioned it in
go.
your show. Have I lagged completely there? I was fine for a minute. Right, okay, I'm here now. Speaking of, I was talking about Pereira. James briefly mentioned it on his show, one of the fucking many he's done this week, that Ollie tried the 4-3-3. And he had, but to me, it looked like Matic is the sit-in, Jesse is the one that could go and roam, and Pereira is the one that tries to link it up, shuttles up and down. That's what I saw it as. And Pereira just looked so out of place in that system. And it made me start to think of who in the squad we have that could do that. And now, my first answer was Fred. Oh my God, this is a nightmare. My first answer was Fred for the player who could play that role.
Take over, Benny.
Is there
Come on,
anyone else
Benny.
that you see in the squad?
Who's that aimed at? Is that me?
It's a general question.
right.
That was a general question. I was like, who's going to ask then?
We in fact we had this conversation a couple of shows ago, didn't we? James and Connor, I think. I think James was hosting it.
Lingard was shocking. I disagree with that.
And we all couldn't decide, could we? Because I said I thought McTominay might be a better holding player. Just currently, I think a lot of people were saying Matic, and a couple of people said Fred. It's an interesting. It'd be interesting to see what Ollie does, really. And I think as bad as it is, everything may well hinge on what happens with Pogba's contract, whether or not he does go this summer, or whether or not he stays for another 12 months. And I think it will hinge on him as to what we do with a full CDM, because I'm not really sure we've got the money if we buy Varane to go out and get the type of CDM we need, unless we can steal Camavinga for 25, 30 mil. But I heard he favoured a move to Spain, Real Madrid potentially. So I don't particularly know.
Well, you mentioned we don't have the money. Is that not why we need to look at selling some of these players? So, for example,
yeah. Well, we have
Pereira.
Yeah, well, we have an issue, don't we, with our board at the minute? We for whatever reason we cannot offload players. And at the beginning of the transfer window, our board should have been really focusing on offloading or getting deals to offload these players. It's all right going after your Sanchos, your Varanes, your Camavingas, Goretzka, whoever else we're linked with. But we've had Pereira, who should have been moved on 3 or 4 seasons ago for sure. I think Ollie's saying that Lingard potentially within his plans. Players like this need to move on. I would move Matic on, and kind of, well, not start afresh, but look at bringing an extra 2 in. I can understand the Trippier deal more and more. I can see why Ollie's interested in Trippier now, because we've got a right and we've got a very versatile left back, and he's actually played centre back at times as well. So I can understand that. And I also spoke, as you well know, Karthik, last week about some players, particularly Tuanzebe, reinventing himself. And I think McTominay's got the ability to reinvent himself into a CDM because he obviously plays centre half for Scotland. And really, you're only playing 10 yards up from him, really. You can look at it. I've talked about how a CDM should dictate the play. So I think there's a couple of areas that we could utilise better, but we shall see. I don't know what the rest of the lads think.
In terms of that, I don't want it to turn into a Pereira bashing. But,
no.
Fred Woodward's asked me here, do we know what his best position is? And personally, I'd say it's the 10, but he's never going to get in there. And we've tried him as a 6. We thought he was the best 6 in the world for about 2 weeks under Jose, and that was it. So it's like there's no choice, is there? But where does he go? Who has and what is he even valued at? Anyone can jump in on this one because I don't have a clue.
Well, you got to factor in his wages as well. He's going to be on ridiculous money just because he plays for Manchester United. So I think even getting a fee, you'd do quite well, really, given his ability. Unless you're going to take on some of his wages like we did with Sanchez, I don't see where he holds his value at the minute in terms of teams that he could actually go to as well. Because he's not going to drop to the Championship or something ridiculous like that. A return to Lazio is probably most likely, or that sort of caliber of team, but they can't afford to pay him $100,000 a week like he's on now. He's not that good of a player. So, I think we're going to have to lose him for close to a free. It's going to have to be a pretty minimal fee.
Really?
I just don't see who would pay his wages and give us a transfer fee on top of that? It doesn't make sense.
The thing that bothers me about it, though, is obviously you're right in terms of replacement. Is my mic better now, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Obviously he does play for United, so he is going to be on a fairly sizable wage. But the thing is, when you look at the likes of Chelsea, who seem to always get really good fees for their backup squad players, they're not going to be on nothing. They're going to be on a sizable packet as well, and they seem to have negotiators there that can demand these fees for the players. Whereas we seem to just go, oh, well, they play for United. It almost seems as if other clubs take the mick at the fact that it is Man United and, well, they've got money, so it doesn't matter. Really, we should be commanding at least 10 million quid probably for Pereira. But they'll use that excuse, so we don't need the money. It's a problem because you see the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea, they seem to always get really good fees for their bang average players, and it always seems to be from Bournemouth for some reason for Liverpool. But United have got these players that should easily be getting a good few million. Like Lingard. I know what Ollie said he's in his plans, but he's not going to come out and say, "Oh, he's shit, he needs to leave." Of course, he isn't shit, but he's not going to say stuff like that, is it? Lingard should be going for 30+ million at least, and that's on a cheap deal. So, these kind of talks saying, "Oh, we can't afford Jesse Lingard from West Ham," is probably because I think United are hopefully trying to stop people take the mick out of us.
Do we think that's the issue?
I think Callum's partly right. I think the difference with Chelsea and Liverpool, yes, I fully agree. They've definitely probably got better negotiators, but also you don't see the bad side of those players that often. They'll come in, do a good couple of games, and then they'll go out. Whereas you see Pereira, he's a couple of seasons ago starting every game, and you see the bad side of him every single week. So not a lot of clubs are going to pay, say Pereira 15 million. You're not going to get that. And like James rightly said, the wages that he's on, clubs aren't going to pay that kind of fee. I agree that he probably is worth, in today's market, probably between 10 and 15, but I think we'd be lucky to get any more than 5 with the kind of wages he's on and the kind of seasons he's been having. So I'd like to see him go, to be honest, just for his own career, because I don't think he's awful. I think if he went off to a Europa League Spanish side, I think he'd do all right.
He is awful, isn't he, though, Connor?
No, yes and no. I think as a mid-take, like I said, I can't think of an example. Like a
Put
Europa
it this way. He struggled at Granada.
Yes, but I don't know. I think he'd do well over there now, considering where he's at. Yes, he's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Pereira's the answer to all of our problems, but for his own career, he probably needs. Well, he needs to leave because, like you said, his best position probably is 10. He's not going to get that at United.
Exactly. All right, enough about Pereira because I don't want to talk about him anymore. We had a few players in that team that probably should have been loaned out. Let's talk about some of them. Ted Mengi, what do we think about him, and do we think he needs? How far off is he at the minute?
I think he does need a loan, doesn't he? It's pretty obvious. I know Derby have spoke about how they're really struggling in terms of centre backs and just in players in general. So I think Ted Mengi and the likes of maybe Jimmy Garner and things. They do need a loan, but they probably need a Premier League loan more than anything, just to get the experience at the top level.
Mengi as well.
Mengi could probably suggest maybe Championship. He's had a bit of time at Derby, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to the Championship again for a season. The thing is as well, obviously, when I went off, I came back on and briefly heard you speaking about Twanzebe. I personally think he'd be really good going back to maybe Villa. Now they're in the Premier League. The thing is, we need to remember Twanzebe's a very good defender, but it just seems to me that he's maybe just lost it a little bit at United, and maybe he needs to go out and get game time to remind us all that he is a good defender. I think he's it's a weird one, Axel, because I want to sing that chant again at Old Trafford and everything, but I'm hoping his time hasn't gone at United, because I do like him as a player. He has got his mistakes in him, but that'll come, playing at top experience level and things like that. So I think we just need to wait it out a little bit longer. Obviously, he's an academy player, so it always gives him that little bit more patience.
Yeah, and speaking of Axel, we did a video on the channel about Axel Twanzebe. Make sure you go and check that out. Hey, look at me plugging videos. Another one in the squad that I think should go out on loan is Brandon Williams. Now, is there a particular club that we think that he needs to go to play at a certain level for him to really push on? Because I know Stu thinks that he shouldn't. Does anyone think that like he can still play a part in the team?
So I think he'd be pretty well suited to Southampton or a team like that, lower Premier League team, sort of bottom half. But Southampton have just lost their left back in Bertrand, haven't they? So he's going to get game time there. I think he's probably good enough given regular game time. We saw on his breakthrough season, he's good enough for a bottom half Premier League team at the minute. And I think a team like Southampton as well will probably improve him physically and him going forward as well. I think he's a good defensive fullback. I think he's just lacking that cutting edge going forward. So I think that'd be a good move for him. I just don't see where he fits in right now. I wouldn't play him above Luke Shaw or Tellez. So he's just rotting in some crucial development years at the minute.
Let's be fair though, Tellez is out injured for a while as well now. Could miss potentially start of the season, so that could also hamper maybe Brandon Williams going out on loan, perhaps. Yeah, I'm not saying it will, but we don't know how long Tellez is out for, but it looks like he's going to definitely miss the start of the season, so you probably will keep Brandon Williams around for a little bit longer. But then, good thing about a loan move is you can loan players out any time of this year, or the season, so that'll probably be good. A lot of them players that were out on show yesterday, a lot of them are too. I keep saying are far too good for under 23 level now. The Garners, your Levitts, your Mengies as well. I think Mengi go back to Derby for a season. I agree with that one. Gardner needs Premier League football. Levitt needs top level Championship football at the very least to test his standards. I mean, I know he went on loan to Charlton and it didn't work out. And then was it Belgium that he went somewhere in Belgium, wherever it was?
Obscure, didn't he?
Yeah, it didn't quite work out.
He went to Croatia, I think it was.
Was it Croatia? Sorry, yeah. So higher level sort of Championship side for Levitt would do. Looking at like Hannibal Majebri as well, I'd probably keep him one more season in the 23s, maybe flirt him around the first team a little bit, but next season definitely needs to go out on loan. Anthony Alanga is probably the one that's played himself into a really good position at the minute because he's on fire. That kid's been on ever since that he got his Premier League debut against Wolves. The guy's been on fire. He's taking the opportunity with both hands, it seems. So he's probably played himself into the more of a first team role at the minute than many of the other players that were on show.
Is he the best Anthony at the club?
Oh, I don't know about that. Not yet. Maybe Martial is when he's on it, he's class. But when he's having a stink,
is he the best finishing Anthony at the club?
But at the minute, yeah, because Martial's not fit.
Does the other Anthony score the goal he scored?
He probably does, yeah, mate. Let's be fair. I know Martial splits the.
Not giving me anything, is he, Benny?
I don't know Martial splits opinion down the middle, but let's be fair though. The guy can finish when his head's screwed on and when he's at his game, But it depending on what type of Anthony Martial turns up on the day, whether it's the fully fired, fully focused Anthony Martial or the one that's going to have an absolute stinker. So, yeah.
I think the issue with Brandon Williams is, I said the other, I think it was last weekend, he's missed his window with us, and he really has. And I know the issue with Tellez's injury, but you can't keep a player in the squad who's not really going to see any game time if Tellez was around just for the sake of keeping him in the squad. It keeps a salary, unfortunately, and it's a salary we need to move on. And I think Brandon Williams, what is he now, 21? 20, 21, something like that, 22.
Something like that, yeah.
22.
He's got a career decision to make as well. He's on $100,000 a week with us, and he's got a career decision. If he wants to make it as a professional footballer,
Brandon Williams can't be on $100,000 a week.
He's not 100, is he?
No, he is. He's on a lot of dough.
Also, I think he has made it as a professional footballer.
Yeah. What I mean is, if he wants to play week in and week out, which he hasn't done for 18 months now. He should be having a long look at himself and saying, right, what do I do? Do I stay at Manchester United for the kudos, or do I move on and play week in, week out? Have I got a chance of playing for England in the next Euros? These are the types of, when you look at modern day football, it never gets spoken about. Players don't look at their future careers. They look at the here and now and their bank balance. They don't look at their future careers. And Brandon Williams hasn't played himself back into the first team contention. He was playing in the under-23s a few weeks ago. You know, he shouldn't be doing that. And coming back, I wrote a comment on James's show last night because I was getting a bit riled with some of, you know, people having a pop at the games. The disconnect between bollocks. The disconnect between under-23 football and first team football is huge. It's absolutely huge, and it goes back years and years ago when they got rid of the reserve system. As soon as the reserve system went out of the way, younger players were always going to find it more and more difficult to play their way into the game because they're not strong enough.
On that, I actually agree. The under-23 league is shit.
It is, yeah.
It's shit.
They're not strong enough. They're not developing. If you look at our players, they're not developing. They're not filling out. They're not bulking. I know we've got a couple. Alanga is a big, strong boy. Mengi is a big, strong boy. But some of our skillful players, look at Shoretiri yesterday. Look how small he looked, you know, on that pitch. Medjby, when he comes, look how small
he is 17.
I know, but, you know, this is the time. When you look at Wayne Rooney at 17, I know we're talking about a different specimen. I'm not comparing them. I know we're looking at a different specimen. But he was almost a man at 16, 17. And these lads have got to look at it. Ronaldo's another one. Ronaldo, when he came, he was skinny.
I'm not laughing at you, Jim. Just laughing
at
Callum's face.
When Ronaldo was here, he was young, he was scrawny. He got no fucking bulk on him. And as soon as he bulked up, he became a different type of player. And these young lads have got to decide what they want to do and how they want to progress.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think, Carthy, you're very, very big on this as well, that if they move elsewhere and say go to a championship club or whatever, that's not a failure. That's still a success. They've still made it as a professional footballer. And I think as fans, I'm sure every fan at any club do this. Whenever we get a load of youngsters come through, we automatically assume or think that a lot of them are going to be playing in the first team. And in reality, probably only one or two out of that group is going to make it into the first team, if that. You know, we're not going to get every single, you know, when you're looking at Galbraith, Laird, Mengi, even put Tuanzebe in there, Williams, Garner, Levitt, you know, Alanga, not every single one of those are going to be a part of the team going forward. So you've got to look at the real high level ones. James has got a visitor. James, does the cat have a thought on Garner and Levitt?
Yeah, it says proper good footballers need a loan, as we said.
So, yeah, that was the only point I was going to make. I think we need to look at who is the real top level. So a lot of they are clearly all very good footballers, but not all of them are going to make it through. Like I said, maybe one or two out of this group are actually going to be, you know, make it into the first team squad going forward. So, yes, I agree with everyone's points pretty much. Yeah, the under-23s is a completely different ball game, and we're getting found out. But I think the big one is Axel, because he's had a loan move to Villa look very good. He looked very good for United last season. But, you know, he's coming, I think he's 24 in October, November. So, and I have to make a decision on him, because we've got a lot of good centre-backs coming through the academy. So there's going to need to be a decision made on him in the next 12 to 18 months.
I mean, there was
go on.
Sorry, James, just quickly. I mean, there was no forward planning for so many years. And these players would have benefited from loan moves, but never got them because there was nobody behind the scenes to try and get these loan moves for them. So, and the thing is, they have probably got stuck in under 23 levels, but it's not to the fault of the players. And the thing is, as well, they aren't going to bulk up and things. You can't expect Shoretiri to be. He's still a boy. He's not even an adult yet. It's what I mean. Like, you can't say, oh, they need to bulk up and all this crap, because.
But if you want to play first team football, Cal, in the Premier League, you've got no choice today. You have no choice. And so
I know, but he's 17. Like, there's only so much.
It depends on who you're talking about. If you're talking about someone like Garner, I'd understand that.
But if you go into the Championship as well, you're just going to get bullied. And these lads, as I say, if they've got aspirations of playing top level football and staying at the top level for a long time, they've got to sort their careers out now. You can't wait.
I'm sure he's going to do that. But again, he's a 17-year-old boy. You know, I'm sure he is going to be bulking up, but there's only so much he can do at the age that he is. I think it's just more a case of give him time to. I'm sure he is aware after playing those few minutes in the Premier League.
I hope so.
He's probably very aware that it's, my God, this was tough. Like, it's very physical. I'm sure they're aware. I'm sure he's aware of it, but you can't be turning around saying to a literal boy, oh, he needs to be bulking. I'm sure he's aware, and I'm sure he's training to do so. but there's only so much he can do at the age that he is.
Anything to say, Stu?
Well, obviously I disagree there, don't I? Because, for me, 17, 18, 19, this is your make or break years in professional football. They really are. 17, 18, 19. In today's game, they are your break years. So you've got to give yourself every opportunity to make it. Now, whether you make it at Manchester United or not, I'm talking professional football here in general. And this is, I think, it's a big issue. And under 23s, by the way, doesn't offer this. Back in the 80s and the first part of the 90s, you were playing reserve team football. So you were playing against players that were coming back from injury, seasoned professionals. And lads were better prepared for it. We're not prepared. And this is what everyone's they were disappointed yesterday. They were all up in arms. Oh, we're no good, blah, blah, blah. Or under 23s can't handle it. They're just not prepared well enough. That's all it is. They've got clearly, they've got the skill set. But have they got the aptitude? Have they got the attitude? Have they got the aggression in themselves to push on? I get what you're saying, Carl. I do. He shouldn't be in the gym at 17. You're absolutely right.
Well, I mean, he should be in the gym, but I'm just saying that at the age that he is, there's probably limits of how much he'll bulk and things. They've got to do it in a controlled way. That's all. He will bulk up. He's not going to be a bloody weightlifter, obviously, but you can't expect him to have the strength of a man when he's not a man yet.
It's just Stu saying aptitude and attitude that got me. I thought he was about to start spitting bars.
No.
Right, everyone who's watching, make sure you're liking the video. Great stuff so far. I'll just answer a couple of questions. Vincent, Will Fish is now out on loan to Stockport County. I think he's going at the end of the month, isn't he?
Yeah, I read that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good move for him, to be fair. County will love him. I've got to make his season ticket holder. He's proper looking forward to it. What else have we got? John, with the young players going out on loan, it has to be the right move for the benefit of United and the players' development. With current difficulties at Derby, would that be the best move for Mengi? It would be a good move for a lot of them because they'd get football.
Saw John the other day.
Did you?
I was in the pub with John the other day, yeah. Bumped into him.
Is it the one that is it the pub that you ran around the roundabout?
It was that one, yeah.
Oh, fair play. I hope you didn't get John to do that.
How are you not banned from it yet? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm the one that brings in the custom, mate.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Bit of entertainment.
They've got him holding a board outside the pub. Of special offers.
That video and picture, it's framed, it's on top of the bar and everything.
How'd you frame the video?
Have you shaved that back yet?
I've not done it yet. I have mentioned doing something in terms of charity or something, but it's not happened yet.
It'll be like what's his name, Tom Huddleston. He just won't shave it until he does something.
Yeah,
he won't cut his hair, would he? Is it cut his hair? Yeah.
Until he scored a goal.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I was going to wax it, but that fucking hurts, so I'll just shave it.
Shave it.
Right, we're going to move on to the second topic of mine, and this one might get a little bit interesting with regards to some of the comments. News that broke out this week. I don't think we really covered it on the channel up until now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signed a new contract until 2024. That is 3 more years of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, our fan base, half of them reacted well, half of them didn't. My question is, did Ole deserve it? Whether you want him in the job or not, what he's done so far, did he deserve it? So we're all talking in terms of him and the job he's done rather than our personal in or out opinions. Did he deserve it based on what he's done? Go.
Yeah.
Why?
I'll start off. Yeah. I'll preface it by saying I'm very happy he signed the contract as well. But, he has been our best managerial appointment since Fergie. I get Mourinho won us 2 trophies. One was a League Cup. That's City's trophy, and it don't mean anything. But you look at where the club is now. The club is in a better, more sustainable position now than it probably was in the season that Fergie left, and that's because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think we're so ingrained with success that we demand it every year, which fair enough, but you can't expect it. One team wins every year, and we can't constantly dominate. That's just not how football works. We're in a period of transition, which for the first 6 odd years didn't go to plan at all. But we're finally in transition. We've been asking for stability, and decent football and progress, which is not what we got under Jose. That's why Jose got sacked. We didn't like the football. We were heading in the wrong direction. The dressing room hated each other. We've got all that with Ollie, and suddenly people are complaining again. I think every year Ollie has done better and better and better, and eventually, as long as he keeps doing better and better and better each season, we will win things. It's inevitable. The sky is the limit. I think that I get people have their doubts. He's not won a trophy in 3 years. He's spent a lot, but while he's doing better, have faith in him. And fair enough, as soon as he stops doing better, then have doubts in him, then say, maybe this wasn't deserved, etc., etc. But right now, there's no indication that he is going to slow up. I think that the projection is up for United for the first time since Fergie left. And I think he needs a lot of credit for that.
Oh, yeah, of course he deserved it. I'm sorry, but I'm sick to death of seeing knobheads on
I
Twitter.
was waiting for you to jump in, Callum, because I know you just don't want to mince your words. Go on.
I'm just sick of all these tools on Twitter. They do me head in, saying, oh, he's not won things and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there was a period of time at United when Fergie didn't win anything for a couple of years.
Are they going to tell us that's not Sir Alex Ferguson, Callum?
Oh, well.
Football's different, Callum.
Oh, fuck off.
Right then. I respect your opinion.
Just got just a little thing that I'm reading here. Since his first game in charge, only City and Liverpool have picked up more points. I mean, this idea of not winning a trophy is not just about winning trophies. He's brought such a spirit back to the club, and he's made us all love our team again. And just because we've not won something for a few years, we will do. We'll win something this season. I'm telling you. Don't know what, but we'll win something this season. So
might be all of it.
And the thing is, people give these opinions about him not deserving it. It's just a garbage agenda, just because they don't seem to like him. And then it's always the same old excuses. Oh, he was a tapping merchant who got it. It's just crap. I'm sick to death of the same stuff from the same people all the bloody time on Twitter. Like Johnny FX, he's a fool. There's plenty out there.
Benny loves him.
Fucking hate him.
If you're watching, mate, subscribe.
There's no way these people aren't United fans. Or they are, and they're using the club to just try and get a few likes on Twitter. Sick of it all the time. Like, going on, constant backtracking on all the stuff that he says. Oh, he doesn't think Bruno Fernandes is good enough. The guy tweeted a couple of years ago that he was the next big thing. He just hasn't got a clue.
Right, Charlie's in the comments. He's spoken about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot, and I'm interested to see the response to this. He says he's created a squad which is likeable, the team has improved. One big doubt he has is his tactical competence in big games. Has to challenge for title and win a trophy. Now, before Callum calls him a knobhead, Charlie, I see your point sometimes. When you look at the final, not making a sub until extra time, I get that. I get sometimes he's very scared of his lack of squad depth. But he also has that second part of his comment, which is he has to challenge for a title and win a trophy. Now, for me, he has to do one of those things, and I think it's win a trophy. Would everyone agree with that?
Hasn't he beaten Pep Guardiola more times than any other manager? Hasn't he beaten Liverpool? Hasn't he? Tactical competence in big games. The reason why he doesn't use substitutions is because his squad on the bench were crap. They weren't good enough, which is why he wants more funds to build a better squad. The first teams are getting there, but we haven't got the backup of the personnel to change games. Bloody hell, there was games last season where we were having to bring the likes of Shaw Terry on because there was nobody else. It's not a case of, he doesn't use subs. It's because he probably hasn't got the trust and the faith in the subs to make a difference in the game. Nothing to do with tactical competence.
But in terms of the trophy thing, is there a point there?
If I may intercede, look, management is not a hugely difficult game. It's not a hugely difficult job. No point in anyone's ever talks about player responsibility, and it winds me up, that does. It's all about Ollie can't do it on the sidelines. The players are going to take responsibility on the pitch. The players are the ones that are out there who can see the game in full motion. They can see how the game is flowing, all right? And the biggest issue is we don't have players that can take the game on occasions by the scruff of the neck and deal with it. Now, if you looked at the Euros, you would see 2 or 3 teams, players were talking to their coaches all the time and saying, look, I think we need to do this. The Danes famously did it in their second game, I think it was, when they came back and they won, or their third game, one of the two. Højbjerg went over to the bench. We're getting overrun in midfield. We need to change it. They changed it and away they go. Look, players have to do this. Players have been playing the game. Harry Maguire's been playing the game probably since he's 5 years old. You know, you don't need to coach these players. These players should know exactly what they're doing at any given time. And people can disagree with me on that, but I promise you now, it's common sense.
I 100% agree with you. You see me banging on about it all the time. I tweet it about once a week last season. It's like people just look at the manager and go, "Oh, well, you should have told him to pick up that man." No, that's the player's job. It's like the goal at Istanbul, right?
Yeah.
The corner.
Yeah.
Why does Ollie need to be held accountable for that goal? He shouldn't be, because Nemanja Matic is there. He's an experienced professional footballer, and he should be going, fucking hell, lads, Wan-Bissaka, get the foot back here and watch it, because you need to have 2 on the halfway line. That's what we do.
That's exactly right. The Villarreal goal in the final. Look, Lindelof was caught completely the wrong side, and he was grappling from the wrong side. Yeah, Strike was grappling on the stronger side for him. He was always going to outmuscle Lindelof, but Shaw wasn't covering enough to help Lindelof out. This is common sense football. It's got nothing to do with set piece defending or stuff along those lines. Look, when you defend a corner or a free kick, it's quite straightforward where you need to stand, how you need to stand slightly square on so you can see what's happening. It's not fucking rocket science, and this is the issue. And this is why I always come back to is on-field determination and on-field management. It's not all about what happens in the dugout. Ollie can talk for 15, 20 minutes before, he can talk for 10 minutes at half time, and he can talk about when he gets back. They prepare throughout the week. It's the players. And Johnny FX and whoever else are banging on about Ollie this and Ollie that. Maybe they're not United fans, but they don't understand anything about football.
I am going to disagree slightly, Stu. I've got to be honest, because yes, you can say it's just on the players, but we've seen the same mistake no matter what players are playing. So does that mean we need a whole new back line, a whole new defensive? And I'm talking particularly set pieces, as we all very well know, and deep crosses to the fullbacks. We are struggling, and it doesn't matter who is playing there, we are struggling with that. So clearly that is something to do with coach. And this is not on Ollie, by the way. This is on the coaching staff.
Totally agree. But where do you stand on a set piece? You can only stand either around the 18-yard box or slightly above, depending where the free kick or the corner is. That you can only stand in those areas, week in, week out, game in, game out. You can only stand in those areas. So coaching's not going to sort that out.
It depends what they're being told, isn't it?
But if you can't sort that out as a professional footballer playing for the biggest club in the world, if you can't sort that out, then you shouldn't be playing the game. You can only stand in certain areas, like I say, on a corner or a set piece, depending on where it is, whether we get caught out of the back post or not. It's the players have got to take responsibility for it. They really have. I understand what you're saying.
But that's my point. So my last point on it then. So if you don't know what the players are being told, and if they go against instructions, then that's the players out the team. So it depends what we don't know. None of us are involved in the coaching stuff. So we don't know what they're being told, particularly on set piece and defending these kind of deep crosses. So if they're being told to do that and they're following it through, then that's on the coaches. If they're not following through the coach's plan, it's on the players. But ultimately, we don't know. We don't know what they're doing in training week to week, do it.
But then the player's got to make that decision. You have to make that decision in game. That's what a captain is there for. That is what a centre half is there for. That's what a goalkeeper's there for. They should be talking all the time. It's all about your spatial awareness around you, who's picking up who, and who's leaving who free, etc., etc., etc. It's communication and spatial awareness. It really. I play centre half, so I know.
You play football, did you, Stu?
Unfortunately, I know the area and I know how it is. Look, the amount of times I've been clattered by my goalkeeper, throughout my years, it's unbelievable. Unfortunately, you don't see it. You never see De Gea coming for a cross, so you see him helping. You don't see him helping out the centre halves or the defenders. You see Henderson occasionally. I don't know what Tom Heaton's like, but it's a big issue, that is, as well. The goalkeeping side of it, you just don't see it. So
well that, like you've just raised Charlie's point. He said it just before I could get in. I think if we've got this coaching now. Eric Ramsey's name from Chelsea. If he's coming in to work on set pieces and other stuff, so if we get to this time next season and it's not improved, then I'd be worried. But I think the fact that we've gone out and we've pinpointed this area of weakness and we've gone out and made a coach signing to rectify it is encouraging. And I suppose that's like Ollie can be praised for that as much as he maybe blundered the tactics last season on set pieces, because fair enough, that is where quite a lot of our goals conceded came from. But yeah, the fact that he's gone out and realised this is what we need to work on, then, you know, fair enough. And I suppose it probably sounds stupid, but he was a striker. He's not going to be a specialist in organising defences to defend the set piece. So the fact that he's brought in extra help to do that is encouraging again.
It's about identifying it.
Guys, an £80 million defender can't organise his back line. Are you serious?
Yes, Laved.
Are you serious? Honestly, we all talking about an £80 million defender not being able to organise his back line.
Yeah, but it's about the other one that's understanding him.
Oh, do you know what? Just to jump in, Stu's kind of bang on, to be honest. It is laughable at how much we kind of just instantly go for a manager, regardless of what club it is. Like, I'm not saying it's us, but it seems to be this thing that you see a lot that, oh, well, that was the coach, or that was this, or that was that. These players, they've got to take individual responsibility. And this set piece issue that we had, they were individual errors. You can't tell me it's bloody Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault because Lindelof can't jump up for a ball and get goal side of somebody. He's a centre back. He should. The first rule of being a defender is get goal side of your man. Like, a manager or a coach shouldn't have to tell you that. You should just know that. Like, us lot have all played football. We all understand how to play the game. It's not hard. Like, it's silly individual areas. This isn't a management problem. It was even the same with Jose and Van Gaal. When this kind of thing happened, it was just like, how can you blame a manager for like Karthik, you said before, how can you blame a manager for every single player going up? Take a bit of responsibility and can have a go at your fellow teammates and say, what the friggin' hell are you doing? It's just ridiculous. Like, I get sometimes coaching comes into it, but wow, get a bit of individual responsibility on the players.
No, I think you've summed that up well, to be honest. Because yeah, the coach has a bit of input, and I think I agree with Stu a little bit that yes, there should be a bit of player ownership as well. But at the end of the day, Ollie's identified that, and he's brought in a set piece coach, so there's not even that excuse anymore. Benny, at the end of the day, do you think Ollie has to now win a trophy? Because it looks like all the things are in place now. So he goes, oh Jesus Christ, hang on. So he doesn't have an excuse anymore. Everything's in place. He's got the set piece coach. Right. He's got his right winger. He might get his centre back. He might get his six. We'll see what happens with that. Now, does he have to win a trophy to stay in the job?
Yes, I'd say so. You know, because the pressure's going to keep on building and keep on building and keep on building. And you get the more wankers like Saeed and fucking Johnny FX going off on one and shit like that. Fucking, you know, even though there's videos out there online showing Saeed singing Ollie's at the fucking wheel, you know, the biggest flip-flopping cunt in all of fucking internet history, that kid. What I will say on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, though, is you listened to the fans yesterday, 4-2 down, and there was everybody in the top tier was singing Ollie's at the wheel. Now, obviously, it's come back out now because we can fit Sancho in instead of Sanchez, so we swap that out. How long it'll last, I don't know, because obviously it depends on the Paul Pogba situation. But everybody that I spoke to yesterday at the ground was buzzing at Ollie's signing a new deal. You know, everybody was saying we're going in the right direction. He's brought back a belief in this football club that was missing for a long, long time. And he's brought back a bit of a family culture back to Manchester United, which was missing certainly under Jose Mourinho, where it was all about him, you know. It's a feel-good factor around Manchester United again, and it is down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's changing. I've been banging on about this for months. He's changing stuff behind the scenes that people don't see, and they don't get it into the brains what he's flipping round and changing. The entire academy system has been fucked under Mourinho, has been fucked under the Glazers for ages. Ollie's come in there, first thing he's gone, that academy system needs to be changed back to the way it was, and it's been turned on its head. We're starting to produce youngsters again coming through. We're getting some good talented players. We're purchasing good talented players across all over Europe and all over the world. To potentially spot the next Manchester United superstar, if you like. I know that Stu doesn't like the word superstar and stuff like that, but
no, it's bollocks.
Posers.
Posers, yeah. But for me, it's heading in the right direction. But everybody did agree, though, that he needs to win some form of silverware next season, whether it be the League Cup, FA Cup, whatever it may be, just to keep the snake off his back, because there's people trying to snipe at him all the time. We had QPR fans taking the piss, singing about Ollie, signing a new deal, and they're thinking we're screwed and everything. But I love nothing more than Ollie to actually win one of the three major trophies that when I class three majors, the Premier League, FA Cup, or Champions League this season, just to shut every fucker up, man, and just go, well, that's what I've done. But let's be fair, though. I think it's the first time that this board has sat up because of the protests and everything that's happened with the Super League and all that bollocks. It's the first time they've actually sat up and started to really back a manager, back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what he wants. He said he wanted Sancho's here. Varane looks like that deal's probably imminent. It's imminent. I can't say the word, whatever the hell it is. But, not in my vocabulary. I do apologise. But
love you, Danny.
But things are looking well, and people are going, "Oh, he's got all his dead." But well, he can't ship a whole entire team out. So it's going to take time, but at least he's had the fucking bottle to ship half the deadwood out. Half this deadwood that Van Gaal and Mourinho in particular kept around for way longer than they should have done. It's working, but it's a slow process because you can't get rid of an entire squad to bring an entire new one in. It's got to happen over time. People are like, oh, Pereira shouldn't be here and all that. Well, he's probably looking to move Pereira on, but to move Pereira on, he needs somebody into that's of the right quality to come and replace him. Otherwise, if we get a couple of injuries in key positions where Pereira could operate, and we're fucking fucked, and everybody will be jumping on his back for selling Pereira because he didn't put anybody else in. So
how have we got back to Pereira?
I don't know, mate, but I'm just using that as an example. I do apologise.
I just want to drop in and say, look, if who does everybody want? It's all right saying Ollie out, etc., but who does everybody want to come in?
They all pipe over Poch, don't they?
Why?
The guy who lost the fucking French league.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see people in the comments, who they want and what people want, because we can have this debate about Ollie in and Ollie out, but nobody ever comes up with a name. Nobody ever.
Yeah, it's true.
The easiest name, Pochettino.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't win anything with a decent fucking Spurs side. He should have won vast amount of trophies with. He didn't win anything with them. And then he kept saying the League Cup's not a fucking trophy. For a club the size of Tottenham, the League Cup should be a fucking trophy you're looking to win. I'm sorry, but you don't win anything in fucking God knows how long. Get yourself a League Cup, get that winning mentality under your belt. Get a trophy under your belt. But the fact that he brushed it off, saying, "Oh, it's not a major trophy," well, Manchester City, I'm sorry, but they proved that it is.
I go for it.
Oh, they fucking wanked to Carabao, don't they?
It's still a major trophy. It's still one of the major trophies in English football. If United won the League Cup under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, man, and that's his first trophy.
You know what they'd say after that? They'd go, "Oh, something the Carabao Cup. It's not a real trophy. Win a real one." Anyway, I think Charlie summed it up. Is fed up with the abuse between Ollie and and outers.
Yeah, he's
really
right,
wasting each other's time. I think that's the best way to sum up.
Yeah, he's right.
This whole thing, but in the end, I'd say he does deserve the trophy. Trophy? He does deserve the trophy. Yes, he does deserve the contract, and I think he has to challenge for a trophy. And if he doesn't, then he might be in a bit of trouble.
But to be honest, guys, we finished second. I know we finished 12 points behind City, and that's probably we took our foot off the gas towards the end of the season, but we were challenging for the Premier League title last season, don't forget. Now, people might say it wasn't really a challenge. It was. We finished second. We were the closest to City. So,
I'm not sure I'd call it a challenge. There was about 2 weeks in January where I was fucking giddy as fuck on this channel, and I was uncontrollable. But that was it.
But only City finished above us.
Yes, Stu, but it's not the same, is it?
Well-
Did you feel like towards April, May, like, oh, we can win this?
I just felt I mean, look, our fixture list towards the end of the season was a joke. We all know that anyway, so there's no point going over that. We all know that. And it's going to take a lot to overhaul 12 points next season. Whoever we bring in, it's going to take a lot to overhaul next. But nobody finished above us apart from City. So, you know.
I mean, fair play. I mean, the table doesn't.
I understand what you're saying, Carter. I do get it. I get what you're saying. But ultimately, at one point, we were challenging.
Well, yeah. I mean, those 2 weeks in January were fucking mint. I wish we could go back to that. I wish we could go back to after the PSG game where I was convinced we were going to win the Champions League. Right, we've talked far too much about sensible things. Oh, but yeah, I've lagged. I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm back.
Right,
We've talked too much about sensible things. Stu, tell us about your football match. You play football, don't you?
I was fucking
Wait, Stu, before you start, did anyone vote for you as man of the match?
No, I would have subbed my fucking self.
Fucking posers then, aren't they?
I was terrible.
He's the poser. He was shit.
I was poor. I was really bad today. I had a really bad game. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. We got beat 2-0 and do you know what? I just couldn't put it together. I got my peacock feathers and everything. I strutted on, as you do.
Fucking take ownership, Stu.
Yeah, I strutted on.
Fucking hell, it's simple stuff.
Come on, lads. Fucking hell, let's have it and all this kind of bollocks. I was looking for me first. I was fucking terrible. I was an embarrassment.
Oh my God.
I was an absolute embarrassment.
Sorry, for the viewers wondering why I'm laughing, Callum's just put in the private chat that he remembers when James called Connor a tennis nonce.
All because
I wanted to say it, but I didn't know whether it'd get us in trouble, to be honest. But yeah,
well, it's not going to get you in trouble because I'm here, mate. So it's fine.
I was just sat there thinking, tennis nonce. Because remember, obviously Connor's been playing tennis again, and I just thought that was dead funny. That out of nowhere, I laughed for a good 10 minutes when I saw that.
To the view, this is the abuse I get behind the scenes for saying something wasn't a penalty.
Oh, shut up, Slabhead.
not from me, Connor. My first 10 minutes were the worst in.
Oh, we're definitely revisiting that, Connor. By the way,
in the history I've ever played because we played on a pretty poor pitch. That's what I'm going with. This is the excuses I'm going with now. And our left back, he just laid in a 3 or 4 yard ball to me. And I was watching it come and I was looking at the right wing because I was just going to slide it off. And it just fucking bounced over my foot, didn't it? Like it just like literally bounced over my foot. Their fucking striker was in on goal and that was it. My game just went fucking downhill from there. I just couldn't recover.
Stu, you're not one of these posers, are you, that needs a perfect carpet to play well? I thought back in
fucking hell. Back in the modern day footballs, they think the surface is about everything.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they played on shit pitches, you really learned how to be tough in those days. And these days, you just complain. It's just excuses.
I chucked my toys out the pram, and that was it. I was done. I was fucking whinging. I was moaning. I was fucking. Oh,
I bet you're one of the posers that needed an arm around the shoulder as well.
Oh no, I wouldn't shake anyone's fucking hand after I walked straight off. I'd had enough.
Oh, great sportsmanship, that.
I don't want to. No,
it was a charity game.
Sorry, yeah. Just for the context, this was a charity match, was it, Stu?
Yeah, it was a charity match. I gave handsomely, but I tell you, I wasn't having none of it. I'm a terrible winner, if you don't know, but I'm an awful loser. I just wasn't having none of it. I was terrible. I held my hands up. I was woeful.
Wonderful. That's all I wanted to hear. Stu talking about himself playing football and saying he was shit. Callum, what's this that you wanted to revisit about Connor?
Remember when was it the Denmark game, Connor, and he said it wasn't a penalty? Proper annoyed me that. I've not been on for a while, have I? But that was such a penalty. Anyone saying that was a dive? No, not you, Stu. Connor.
Oh yeah, Connor. I remember that. I was in
the pub watching that game and he went, "Oh, it was a dive. What a bloody dive!" And also, we should have had about 4 penalties in the 90 minutes.
Was Benny hosting that or James?
I can't remember who was hosting now.
I remember.
I mean,
that,
the two options don't even fucking remember. So I don't think.
I think it was me. I just wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Dear me.
Yeah. Proper got annoyed. I think James had a go at you as well. To be fair.
Yeah, I stand. But I'm not going to be peer pressured to change my answer. It wasn't a penalty.
It was a penalty. It just was a penalty.
Callum will proper annoy him. Lewis didn't deserve a penalty either, Connor.
Yeah, that was never a penalty, Connor.
Why is Max driving into him?
Well, you're right. Yeah, it shouldn't have been a penalty.
Fucking
disqualified.
Dutch fraud.
On Formula 1, I was wondering what the fuck you lot were talking about.
Yeah, it took me a minute then. I was like, who the bloody hell's Lewis?
I thought it was Lewis. Now I'll get you Formula 1 now. Sorry, yeah.
Do you know something about that corner, right? Cop's corner. They were saying that you don't stick a wheel up the side in there. You stick a wheel up the side anywhere. I don't really care. You know, on what,
if you're trying to kill somebody, yeah.
Hang on a minute. You can't do it anywhere.
Well, you can actually. I'm about to corroborate my statement. Look at Leclerc. There was a very, very similar at the end of the race. It was very, very similar, and Leclerc gave him more than enough room. The trouble with Max is
no, he didn't.
The trouble with Max, he did because he slightly drifted wide.
He didn't drive into him, so he did.
Look at. Do we have to get into this now?
Yeah.
Hang on. We've got this. There we go.
Oh, triggered. Yes.
I am. I'm on a show with Ben tomorrow about this. I'm just ridiculous, dangerous. Just dangerous driving. I don't know what Stu's on about. You stick it up the inside of anywhere. No, you don't. Shut up.
Oh, I'm on with Ben tomorrow talking about Formula 1. Ooh, podcast friends.
As of the greatest words of Ayrton Senna, if you see a gap and you don't go for it, you're no longer a racing driver.
And he holds a goal.
Yeah.
F1 nonce.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a.
You know what? I can just tell James was waiting to say that all.
Look at him, he's proper proud of himself.
He's had that triggered up, hasn't he? I'll write up my phone so I don't forget it so I can say it.
He's timed it perfectly and just decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm going for it.
I've been muting and unmuting myself for the last 5 minutes trying to dive in with it, but pick my moment.
Waiting for the perfect opportunity. God, it is so hot.
Well, talking of which, what's all this, the United stand nonsense? I just thought I'd bring that up.
I'm a writer. I'm writing side, not video side.
Who's that? Sorry, I've never heard of him.
What is it? What's happened with
United? He's jumped ship, hasn't
he? Who's that?
He's jumped ship, hasn't he, to write for the United stand, apparently. I
don't know what that is, sorry.
I've never heard of him, to be fair. But
is that a newspaper?
Well...
Yes, yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that, yeah.
Oh, we're going to get him in trouble here.
I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
Is your arse hurting on that fence?
Yeah.
Racing incident. Yes. Incident.
Is this our lovely? Oh wait, hang on. This must be our Lord and Savior Ben Pearce.
Must be. Got to be, isn't it?
God rest his soul. He's officially, he's on his deathbed, which is why I'm in charge.
Tell Ben I'll do his bloody podcast and talk about F1 and tell him how he didn't deserve a penalty.
Yeah. It would. To be fair, Ben will tell him for him. Racing incident. Simple as that. We're going to get Ben on an Uncut show at some point because we need to see. We need to check if he's alive first and foremost. Yeah. Also, I saw his tweet the other day and it made me laugh. He was asking about things to do in London, and he said during the day or during the night. So I couldn't help myself. I just said if you need suggestions for what to do at night, you really are getting old. I should mention he was going there with his missus.
Yes,
so that makes more sense now. Yeah. Poor Ben. Anything else anyone wants to mention before we get the fuck out of it?
Love Island's on, innit?
No, fuck off. You're not watching now.
I tried watching 2 episodes.
It's
Love Island nonce. There you go.
I got something about Stu saying the word nonce. It just didn't sound right to me.
I escape it actually. My missus watches it with the girls, obviously, but Oh, it's. I don't get it. It is all fake, isn't it? It must be because
Posers.
No, they're
Oh,
all a bunch of
yeah,
Ken and Barbie dolls, aren't they? They're not real life people.
You
From off
can't
the
say that
street.
anymore, can you? Isn't Barbie gender neutral now? She can
Oh,
be
I
a
don't know
man
what
or a
they are
woman
these
or
days.
whatever.
I'll
Yeah,
take
apparently
it over.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous territory.
I haven't got a Barbie. I haven't got a Barbie. Don't go yet. I don't have a
Dangerous
Barbie.
territory. Yeah.
We're hitting a debate that definitely is not for this channel.
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
don't need to go
no,
there. Ben, yes, I fucking am, and you're still old. Fred Woodward, thank you. Where is Phil Jones? I don't know where he is at the minute, but we all know on this channel, on All for United Uncut, where he should be. In the 6. Callum, what is your opinion?
Sorry, mate, I wasn't listening to you then. What did you say?
I
was
said,
reading something on Twitter. Sorry.
I just set it up perfectly, and you've just ruined it. Right? Let me remove it. Hang on. Right. Fred Woodward's asked the question, where is Phil Jones? And I said, I don't know where he is, but I know where he should be, and that's in the 6. What's your opinion?
Phil Jones in the 6? Are you off your tits?
Sir Alex fucking Ferguson played him in the 6. So yeah, I am.
Yeah, well, he was shit, wasn't he? He never did anything.
Yeah. Is this what happens when we get to the hour mark? We just talk about
literally. Once we do two serious topics, Uncut goes off the rails. So yeah, Phil Jones in the 6. How are we all doing? I'm glad Fred Woodward asked that question. So we're going to end the show talking about Phil Jones.
I'll be quite gutted if he's not in Marbella or somewhere like that, trying to get his citizenship or somewhere. Because if he's not playing, you may as well be enjoying himself.
What the fuck is Ugly Bird? I don't even know if I'm allowed to display this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'd rather watch RedTube than Love Island.
What, you'd rather watch porn than Love Island? I mean, wouldn't everybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you should watch YouTube and watch All for United. Subscribe now. Jones is out collecting twigs. What? He needs to play. Right, can I ask a serious question now? Phil Jones in the 6. Is it such a terrible idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not, though, is it?
He's living the dream. He's living the dream, isn't he, Phil Jones? He's always injured. He never has to play. No one thinks he's going to be good, and he's earning 80 grand a week. I mean,
and the rest.
He's on more than that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on
he's on. It's what I mean.
This is a brilliant comment. Raul Jimenez broke his skull and recovered before Phil Jones is available.
10 years he's been at the club this year.
Testimonial
time.
Yeah,
we need to start a petition. Yeah, we need to start a petition to get him to have a testimonial because it's really sad. He was just like, I'm not having one because no one would turn up.
Ben doesn't fucking want one. He doesn't want it. That's the one game he won't attend. And he's attended every fucking game, Ben.
He's going to the first couple of games, by the way.
Oh, I'll try and get a ticket if I can, like.
Yeah, I know you're going to. Yeah, my lad's going to Leeds. I should be at Newcastle.
I'll try. I don't know. I'll try and get a ticket if I can. But if
I'm
not,
probably going to be September.
Yeah. Well, I'll just ask around see if anyone's got a spare. But I certainly won't be paying United for one. Jesus, after Karthik. I don't know if Karthik mentioned it, but he's not got the money to pay 50 quid for it.
Charlie.
Nope, I didn't mention it, to be honest.
He's not happy, are you, Karthik, at the minute with
I'm sorry, I'm really not. It's a load of bullshit.
No, I wouldn't
be. Is it that
be.
much more expensive? It's only like a $5 or more expensive, isn't it? It's not that.
Well,
much.
I've gone up an age group.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, how can you have any complaints then?
No, because they've increased that by a $5 as well. They've increased the whole thing by a $5 the absolute frauds.
Pissed off by the
Hang on a minute. Even in the Stretford end, right? I had to pay adult tickets to get into the Stretford end for some reason. It wouldn't let me get it on my age group, so I was paying 40 quid for a ticket in the Stretford end. Still 55 quid.
Do you know what? I saw a comment that proper did my head in on one of these shows.
Oh shit! He's here. Quick! Oh wait, shit! Quickly! Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, did he deserve a contract? Yeah.
We're in trouble. Now the gaffer's here. We're in trouble.
Shit.
Oh,
shit. Is that the way he's wearing a god on his little profile there? Look.
Oh, no.
Oh shit, he's here now. What are we meant to do?
Can you
Can
hear
he
me?
speak? What's
Yes,
going
we
on?
can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Fucking hell, this old man trying to figure out technology.
No, I've got a different phone. That's what it was. Can I just say, I've put it in the live chat, but the funniest moment on All for United so far is Callum going, wouldn't everyone rather watch porn than Love Island? And Benny going, stop nodding his head for about 10 minutes.
Good old Benny.
How are we on that?
Oh dear.
We've had a
Playing
serious
a
one
spouse.
tonight.
What's that?
We've had a kind of semi-serious show tonight.
No,
Semi-serious
we've had a very,
defence.
very serious debate,
But
Stu.
to be fair,
Full of
Seems like every time I'm on that.
Connor's still wrong because Lewis should never have got a penalty. No.
Oh, will you piss off?
He's too open about it. He won't leave that alone. He won't
no,
leave
he
it alone.
won't. I know.
Hang on a minute, just go back to that. Hasn't Verstappen done what you're exactly saying, Connor, a million times before?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not doubting he has.
It's racing. Like,
so why is it when Verstappen does it, it's a problem? When Lewis does it, it's a racing incident. You can't have one rule for one and one for someone else.
Say that,
just he's the golden boy of F1.
It's racing. People are going to get hit and hurt and blah, blah, blah. Oh, God. I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll stop overtaking in Formula 1.
Yeah, that's exactly
to be
what
fair,
I was
Callum,
thinking.
they don't do a lot of that anyway, mate. So
Well, I know they don't, to be fair. Hopefully, with the new cars next season, they'll be able to. But for Christ's sake,
Connor, it's fine, mate. It's fine. Red Bull still have the fastest car, mate. It's still pointing in their direction.
I don't know about that.
It's fine.
Connor, can I just ask, because I'm not a follower of F1 massively, but like, other than the fact that he's a massive tax dodger, why don't you like Lewis Hamilton? Like, he's a British racer.
Do you know what? I haven't, and people say it's just because it's the hypocrisy of him. The amount of things that he is hypocritical about does my head in. Oh, here we go. Trigger's going to come up on the bottom.
So
I'm
angry.
not.
He keeps losing.
God,
you know what? I actually am. The hypocrisy of him to come out 2 years ago and blame Vettel for taking Bottas out. Oh, you shouldn't take out the leader and be able to finish and win the race. Well, guess what, Lewis? That's what you just did at the British Grand Prix and took Max's lead down from 33 to whatever it is now. So,
8.
What was that, Stu?
Is it 8, isn't it? 8
8
points, 9 points, something like that.
Constantly saying, oh, we need competition in the sport. As soon as there's competition, he can't stop bloody moaning. So, just can't stand him.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
What's that? Why is he over there?
That was when Ocon took him out in Brazil. That was.
Oh,
That's a still from the next Fast and Furious movie. That is.
That is Brazil, yeah.
I mean, I've chosen. Yeah, I just realised that's not even from the same fucking season, but it worked. It got him triggered. It's fine.
that film is so annoying.
Which one?
It's so annoying.
There's
Which
about
one?
9 of them, mate.
Yeah, which one out of the 9?
Yeah.
Has there only been 9? I thought it was 307.
It's only been 9.
Oh,
I
but
didn't even watch the last one.
quick one. Are we signing Varane?
Yes, I think
No,
so.
probably.
Yeah.
Think so.
There's supposed to be an update, isn't there? From Romano
You remember?
at some point.
Connie, you'll remember this. James Carpet, you guys probably remember this. We put in the group chat like not long ago, or I did, saying, do we actually think it's going to happen? Everyone was sort of like, nah, don't think it's going to happen.
Romano's literally just tweeted about it, actually, literally a minute
Go on.
ago.
How's he? What's he saying?
Official bid from Man United for Rafa Varane to be submitted in the next few days. United board are very confident this deal is getting closer. Varane has almost, that doesn't make any sense, has almost ready agreement on personal terms. He's not extending with Real. He wants a new challenge. No other clubs are in the race.
So he's just repeated what he said for the past 2 weeks.
That's what he does. He's a poser, isn't he, Stu?
Oh,
Losers.
look. Yes, actually, he does fall
Not
into that
Varane.
category
Not
of being a
Varane.
poser.
I meant Romano.
No, I like Romano, but Varane does fall into that category of being a proposer.
Carpet, what have you done now?
A proposer?
A poser, but.
Varane's a
No.
poser. What?
Yeah. Look, my only let me clarify. Let me clarify.
That's real poo in his hair, probably. That's why.
Alan, whatever you do, don't say he won the World Cup because Stu will go in on you for it.
No, forget that. Look, and I'll stand by this again. We don't know exactly how good a player he is. He spent 10 years of his career. Hold on. We spent 10 years of his career right, alongside Sergio Ramos and
Oh, what
Pepe.
kind of player he is!
Well, yeah, okay.
Do you know what, Stu? You should be on TalkSport.
Tell me what Varane brings.
Doing Jamie O'Hara.
Tell me exactly what Varane brings. Tell me exactly what Varane brings.
More than fucking Victor Lindelof. That's what he brings.
A big glistening World Cup trophy as well. Come on.
What you can do on the World Cup. No, seriously, tell me what Varane brings.
Stu, he's won more Champions League than Man United.
Yeah, but so Sergio Ramos.
He's won more than we have. He's a bloody towering, strong centre-back with a bit of pace. Put him next to Maguire. Oh, Stu, come on, man.
Hold on. Look what happened. Look what happened when he was alongside Kimpembe for France.
That's Kimpembe, though, isn't it? He's going to be alongside the mighty Harry Maguire.
That's my point. No, but that's my point. You take Sergio Ramos away from him, you take Pepe away from him, you put him alongside Kimpembe.
Address the comments, Stu. Stop pretending you don't see it.
Stu, when Varane signs, will you be going on about how he's a world-class centre-back and United are going to win the league?
No.
Flip-flop, mate. I know you are. Admit it.
Sancho, I agree with. I was wrong. But having said that, when I said that about Sancho, and I've clarified this as well, he was having a poor start to the season. He wasn't playing well enough. But I changed my opinion, and I'm happy.
Because he didn't want to be there.
Well, is that the right reason to start off poorly?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
you don't want to play football.
Guys, my question still stands. Tell me exactly what Varane's going to bring to our team, please.
Dude, name the 5 best centre backs in world football that aren't in the Premier League. That aren't in the Premier League.
Yeah, Marquinhos for me is the number one.
No,
I think
the 5.
Well, I would go for Marquinhos. I would probably go for Skriniar.
Above Varane.
Well, you said 5.
Yeah, but you would go for but you're before on your list, Skriniar or whatever it's called, however you pronounce it. You would rate him higher than Varane.
I've never been a huge fan of Varane at all.
Really? You wouldn't say.
Honestly, I haven't. I've never been a huge fan of him.
You are dangerously close to a job at TalkSport, genuinely.
The problem is, okay. Let me clarify this. Okay, Liverpool, when Real Madrid played Liverpool 2 years ago in the Champions League final.
You're not basing this off one game.
Well, I tell you, Varane wouldn't have taken him out.
Oh, dear.
He wouldn't have. Varane would not have taken him out like Ramos did.
Why does that make him a good defender?
I've never seen Varane really show the dirty side of the game at centre half.
Why does he have to?
No, he hasn't had to because of Ramos and Pepe playing alongside two masters.
Do you not agree, though, Stu? That's to his detriment. That obviously, because Sergio Ramos is such a good fucking footballer and such a good defender, he's been in Varane's shadow. Varane's been in Ramos's shadow. Doesn't mean that Varane, as we've always said, right? Takes 2 to create a world-class centre-back partnership. At the end of the day, the amount Varane's going to have learned and will be bringing to this United side is beyond anything that any other defender in world football could be bringing to us in this moment in time. I think you underrate him a bit. I love you, Stu. You know I do, but I think you're underrating him a little bit.
You're right. I do. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ben. I do underrate him because it's just my own personal opinion. I just haven't seen him have what I would class to be a really good, solid game. It's just an opinion I've got.
We'll clip this up for you, Stu, and you can send it across. And I've even got a friend. I've even got a friend at TalkSport, so I'll help you get a job.
Friends.
I know everyone's excited about it, and I do agree with it. And he will obviously improve us. There's no 2 ways about it. He will improve us. I know that, but can he play alongside Maguire?
Yes. Ask him. He's right next to you.
Yeah, Harry, can he?
Fuck's sake. I can't believe I've been on this channel, 7-8 months? We're still going with this.
It'll never die.
Can I just quickly say, shout out to Charlie. The other day during that pre-season friendly, it reminded me of me when I was like a teenager, getting so annoyed over the pre-season friendly. I love you, Charlie. You're brilliant. Does anyone else that grown out of giving a shit about pre-season? I used to really care about it, but I don't anymore.
I only care about it when I'm playing Football Manager because it ruins my record.
Yeah.
I could not give I could
Oh,
not.
do you sprinkle a few wins in there to break up the losses, Karthik?
Yeah, that's what it is. 100% in pre-season, 2% in the fucking season.
I couldn't give a single shit about pre-season. Like, I just couldn't. Like, honestly, like, just it's there for fitness and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I remember going to Old Trafford to watch United play Valencia in a friendly once. That was the most boring game I've ever watched.
But I used to, Cal, I used to get up and watch all the tours. I used to set my alarms, get up and watch all the frigging tours. I used to do it all the time. But
do you know what, Ben?
I'm thrown out of it.
Do you know what, Ben? You probably needed a life, to be honest.
Well, mate, we weren't all taught from 13 years old to get our kit off and run around the fucking pub gardens, mate. Only had to let a few go that way.
Do you know what? I didn't get anything for that run round as well as fuming. I thought I'd at least get a free beer.
Trust me, mate, you got some eyes off for the women. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you got a shout out from Gaz Drinkwater. What else is there tonight?
Yeah, exactly.
He was there with me. He was on that filmed it.
He was filming
on
it.
that filmed it. Yeah, he's
Ugly
been
Bear, you're a pre-season nonce, by the way. Just to let you know.
I think calling people you don't know a nonce is a bit more into the grey area.
It's all right when it's me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because we know you're not. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, there's rules. You've got to meet that person at least once before bringing out the nonce word.
Yeah. Okay, fine, fair enough. Ugly Bear, you're not a nonce. You're just ugly.
Right, I've got to go. I just had to come on and say
Also, before you go, why have you named yourself God?
Yeah.
Because you turned around and said something when you were talking about me to do with God, and that's all I remembered from what you said because I zoned out for the rest of it.
I called you old.
By the way, do you notice, Karthik, when you talk, James just completely zones out. He's really interested in everyone else, but when you say something, he goes into a different planet.
I don't blame him.
I think it's just a coincidence.
He's taking notes.
It's a coincidence that I look interested when everyone else is speaking, Ben.
He's taking mental notes. That's what he's doing.
What, how to present?
Yeah. He should be fucking taking notes on how to do the intro, the cheeky cunt.
Dude, the way the reason why Karthik's put James next to him on this stream is because he's like tutor, prodigy. Like that's literally that's why he's done it.
All right, go on then. Hang on. There we go. Now it's in order.
Yeah, Benny, I've got a lot to teach you, mate.
What's Callum teaching Stu how to play centre back?
Yes, Callum's been telling me how to play centre back. Yeah.
Stu needed that help 20 years ago, not now.
And Stu's teaching Connor about how overtaking works.
Oh. Actually, Cal agreed with me about centre half and defending today.
No, he agreed with you about player ownership.
Yeah, it's not often he agrees with me, but he agreed with me today, so I'm taking
To be fair,
it.
I agreed with you as well that you were shit at defending.
I was today. I was woeful. I admit it. I was. Yes, terrible.
Do you know what, Stu? I agree with you quite a lot, but when I don't agree with you, fuck me, do I disagree with you?
No, I like it.
You're a very disagreeable person, mate.
I think if we ever do an All for United social, it's got to start with going to watch Stu play football so we can finally find out if he does actually play football or not.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you, you would have laughed at me today. Absolutely laughed at me. I was abysmal, Ben. I was abysmal.
Boy, we need to get a 5-a-side. When I'm up, we need to get like a 5 or 6-a-side going against someone.
It'd be quite hard when everyone, don't a couple of the people that come in here live in South Africa and everything, and that'd be pretty tough.
Well, I'm not on about inviting them, am I? What about putting a 6-a-side team together from those of us who can get up to a game?
Get all down to the soccer dome. Come over from Johannesburg.
You're free Friday night. Yeah, just pop by after work.
Flight.
Free Friday night. It's on £800 flight, and we'll pay you subs though.
£3.50.
And 10 days in quarantine.
Ben, that's quite a good idea. That is. Yeah, we should meet up and have a kick about somewhere. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
Since that comment, Callum's on the bench.
I mean, to be fair, after you all saw me with my top off, I could do with losing the beer belly before I
To be fair, I've seen Callum play football, and that's probably the best place he should be. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Callum, it's all right. Karthik would be that coach who gets shown up by his assistant being James. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I'm playing.
Play football at the place you got sacked on it, Carthy.
Yeah, it was. Looks like we both didn't make the cut.
Oh, John, what a shout! We can have a chat with Webby and see if we can get the up at the top of Hotel Football and take on another YouTube channel.
Go on then, let's play against Gary Neville and Paul Scholes.
Nah, that's easy work for us. We've got Stuart centre back.
Yeah.
He used to play. He used to play.
Stuart play on Hotel Football's surface. That's for posers.
Yeah,
I
want a proper pitch. I want a vegetable patch.
Ben, you want to play against
centre back? He'll just foul him.
Well, I couldn't even do that right today, Carl. I couldn't even do that. I don't know what was wrong with me. I just bad.
Ben, you want to play against another YouTube channel? I think James has some friends, don't you, James?
Congrats, James. Well done, by the way, mate. I know you've been working hard on that. I know these sort of been ribbing you, but well done, mate. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
I'm not. Traitor. I think he's my protege. He's fucking Joe's protege, him.
You're a hypocrite, you're Karthik. I remember there's a certain channel you used to work for. You cheeky old
I did not work for any channel. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are we talking about other channels? We're friends. Let's all be friends.
Yeah, exactly. Friends.
Yeah, but there we go. All right, well, look, I'm going to try and get up for that Liverpool game on the 23rd. We'll organise a game against the Liverpool YouTube channel or something up on the top of Hotel Football. Let's make it happen.
To be fair, I can do
who
that.
can actually play football, though? Yeah, go on then. Karthik, you sort it out.
Yeah, because my mate used to be at Redman TV.
Go on then. Done. Benny, where'd you play? Benny, you're in goal, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a decent-ish keeper, yeah.
After
5 minutes of him outfield, though.
That sounds well fun, though. We'll definitely do that.
We should do that, 100%. Yeah.
Right, here we are.
If we
United are calling out
five-
every YouTube channel out there. We could fucking beat you at 5-a-side.
Right,
Let's have it.
hold on. Calling out every YouTube channel.
I'm calling all of you. I can name you if you want. I won't name them, just in case.
Perfect as well. We've got enough players in this stream to drop Karthik.
I'm the fucking manager. I don't know what you're on about.
Mate, I'm not taking instructions from you when it comes to football.
Hey, James, you can get the coppers out.
I mean,
mate.
if you could fucking hear me, old man.
Get the old coppers out, man. I think Benny's going to have to go on Pro Direct and get some coppers as well. Benny, get some copper Monday out.
Oh, I've got to admit, Puma Kings, pal. Puma Kings.
Oh, you were Puma King. Yeah, nice.
Charlie wants to go up top.
Charlie wants up top. Ugly Bear wants in. Mate, Ugly Bear, if you played and weren't in the live chat during the game, I'd feel like we've lost a fan, mate.
Yeah.
We need you making some noise.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hang on a minute. We could make an 11-a-side here.
I reckon we could. We've got enough. Mark will want to play, but he'll just spend too long in the dressing room before he gets on at half time.
Oh, Stu will be getting into him.
Oh, yeah, Stu, right.
I'll be telling him, come on, get it flat. Don't worry about that. Yes, get in there. Come on.
Hey, everybody has to wear a black pair of football boots on there because Stu won't want anybody wearing white, pink, or green or blue on.
I think we should all turn up. Oh, obviously this is going to be redundant now. We should just all turn up with like pink shirts on, but leave Stu in like something that's really bland and horrible.
Well, I would do that. Benny, I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret of mine. Whenever I go on,
say dirty secret then.
Yeah, whenever I go on tour to Portugal, we go every year. Obviously, once the pandemic's out and about, Chifnell Town, and I always go on to Pro Direct Soccer, and I always get a cheap pair of football boots to take with me. Just if I get too pissed, I can just lose them. And unfortunately, 2 years ago when we last went out, I bought a white pair of Puma Evos because they were the cheapest on there. So yes, I did have a white pair of football boots.
White. I used to have the white Predators.
I've got white Predators. Can anyone see I'm sweating?
Oh, why have I just thought of what I just thought of?
Which Predators, Ben? If the accelerator.
Right, no.
I hope you're talking about football boots.
Yes. You got white Predators then?
Callum trying to call me. When he said I've got white Predators, I was going to say that's your fucking nickname, innit?
Yeah, I found in my closet.
Should be the name of
a
this
few
stream.
weeks ago. I found
What a white Predator.
I found a pair of Predator accelerators, and I put them on. Somebody offered me 400 quid for them. I don't know why, but you know.
Oh no, they weren't the white ones. The replica ones were white. Do you remember the champagne ones with red tabs? The red tabs.
Yes.
Beckham's old boots.
Yeah.
No one on this channel's got pace, Charlie.
No, I definitely haven't. Well, Connor's
No, I've not got pace.
I'll tell you what,
James is probably
Lewis
rapid.
Hamilton. He's got rapid pace, especially when he cuts up on the inside.
Yeah. And by the way, we all know Callum's got pace, but he needs a pint to be able to show it.
And his shirt off.
Just put a pipe behind the opposition goal and say, "Go, Callum."
Right, James needs to go because apparently some woman's turned up at his door.
Oh, really? Oh, is it the pizza delivery woman?
Get out of that one, James, without offending someone.
Yeah, go on, tell us about that. What's going on?
Just turned up,
what do you mean some woman's turned up at your door?
Right, it says in the chat, I've got Chinese's here. And this
that's
salt
all
and pepper
right.
chips.
Yeah.
I've got proof.
Chinese? That's a bowl for the chips.
Yeah.
I've got a Chinese. What have you ordered? Salt and pepper chips.
No, Fred.
You're clearly a man of culture with your chicken and chips there, mate.
James, you're the type of person that goes to an all-you-can-eat buffet and just freaking murders the smiley faces, aren't you?
Yeah.
What kind of Chinese do you get served in a plastic polystyrene container? What kind of Chinese is that? I'm not triggered yet. No, I wasn't triggered. No. I was only wondering what Chinese it was. That was all.
I love how every time they go full screen, they just shit themselves.
Mine comes in a little container, a little Chinese container with chopsticks. Not a polystyrene box.
I can't use
chopsticks. Kebab shop.
What are you on about?
Do the walking endorsement for not drinking red wine.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay. After the match today, we went to a friend's for a barbecue, and the girls are at their grandparents' for a couple of nights. So,
what did you play today?
Well, no, not really. I
When
made
did you
an
play?
appearance. I made an appearance, but no, I was woeful, Ben. I'm still gutted. Actually, I'm still deeply disappointed in
Not fucking funny, is it, James? Answer the question.
in my performance.
Guys, James is trying to be James wants to grow up and be a serious journalist. You can't be making sure that he's got this stuff in his locker because people will clip it up one day when he's on
Yeah.
serious news stuff. Yeah.
Did Ben just go dead quiet for anyone else then? Because I ain't got a clue what you just said.
He did. Yeah.
I done a comedic gap of silence, Callum.
It wasn't very funny though.
That explains it.
Oh, I
Leave
thought
the
you do an impression of
Leave the
carpet.
comedy to the people.
Oh, shut up!
Wait, now you're triggered. Put it on yourself.
That's what carpet does.
No, I'm not triggered. I'm perfectly happy.
Right, boys,
know
I've
what?
got to go. It's been a joy, but I've got to go. I need to get home.
Triggered.
So that's what you're spending your United stand money on, apparently. I don't know who they are, but yeah.
Never heard of them.
I don't know why people think I'm getting paid for this. I'm a student. I don't get paid for anything.
He's not getting paid by Alf United anyway. Right, we're going to go now. So thank you for watching. This has been a ridiculously long Alf United. I blamed the guy here, the guy here who thinks he's God because he just had to drop in and gate crash.
No, carpet. I genuinely just wanted to come and say hello to people. I haven't caught up with Ben and Callum and Stu and Connor I have, but you unfortunately I have, and James I have. But I haven't caught up with these guys in ages, so I wanted to come say hello.
I mean, I've not been on this channel for ages either, to be fair. So
yeah, pull your finger out.
Yeah, I know. No, it's shocking, aren't
Not good enough.
Connor just put in the chat.
What?
Connor's found a.
Yeah, it's just come off my Twitter. I don't know who's retweeted it or whatever.
What are you on about?
It's taken 10 years, but it might happen.
What are you talking about?
What is going on?
What the fuck are you two on about?
Tweeted ages ago to do with around.
Yeah, it's just an old tweet from Craig Norwood saying that United were very close in signing £3 million deal for Varane.
Who cares about football? Who cares? Shut up, Slabhead.
Oh yeah, I've seen it now.
I know, we get it. You're getting a hard on because you've got a decent centre back coming. Right, anyway. Right, what we've learned from this show is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the best manager in the world and he's going to win every trophy there is to win, and everyone who's Ole out is going to end up crying and issue formal apologies. Anthony Elanga is the best Anthony at the club and is the best finisher at the club, so everyone can suck a dick. James is a traitor. Stu's shit at football. Ben's not really God, but he is fucking old. Benny loves porn.
Boy, isn't he better muted? Isn't he much better muted? He really is, isn't he?
Callum, I'm not fucking finished. Callum hates Stu. Slabhead doesn't understand Formula One, and and at the end of the day, fuck pre-season. Stop having a fucking meltdown over silly results and just enjoy the fact that United are going to win the league. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
It wasn't a penalty. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve a penalty. It was a racing incident. Bye.